probably the biggest debate among economists and in politics in the 20th century was between capitalists and communists, or private property and public property ownership. And there was, within economics, it was called the socialist calculation debate. There was some debate among different kinds of neoclassical economists, a more mathematical side and a more classically trained kind of economist. And the classically trained ones took the free market view, and the more mathematical models said, actually, socialism can work, we just have to fake the market. And the socialists were said to have won for quite a long time. But after the Soviet Union fell, it was kind of reopened, this idea, and people began to wonder whether actually the free market economists had made some good points and whether private property was necessary. So everyone basically shrugged their shoulders and said, I guess we have to live in the capitalist world we live in today. But my argument, my research is looking at the idea that we don't have to live in the capitalist market that we have today, which is actually based on corporations and corporate power. And instead we can say, well, what if we had democracy within the firm? And we already have a legal entity for that, and they're called co-ops. And co-ops in this country are based on values and principles, a primary principle being democracy within the workplace. One member, one vote. If it's a worker co-op, that means each worker has a say. There is more inclusion. There is more chance for an equitable distribution between management and workers in terms of wages and dividends, and everyone can be part of the choice of how people are treated within the workplace and how profits are reinvested. So how would this affect the economy at large? Could we actually achieve some of the things that the socialists wanted to achieve in terms of income inequality, in terms of poverty, homelessness? Would we, for example, not have oligarchs? Because corporations right now, there's a concentration of wealth at the top that you wouldn't be able to have if you had a co-op based economy. And we already have co-ops that are very large, that can handle the modern economic trade system. And they would, again, be privately owned by the members. We have the co-op group, John Lewis, there's Mondragon Worker Co-op in Spain. These are very large companies that handle the modern economy. This is pragmatic, this is realistic. We already have these. But what if we said you can't become a corporation if you want limited liability and to be traded on the stock market? You have to become a co-op. If you want your firm to keep growing, it has to be member-owned. How would that change all of the ills that the socialists were trying to address with public ownership? But this would be a private ownership, pragmatic solution to handle those same ills in a way that would not run afoul of the problems that they faced in the Soviet Union, both in terms of power and in terms of allocating resources across the economy, which is the problem that was pointed out by the free market economists. Thank you.